We are starting to read the hand of a 47-year-old person. He's in a foreign country and he says he's not doing as good as expected. And before I start my video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. If you wish to take a palmistry reading, you can call me or you can email me. The phone number and the email are mentioned right on screen. So these are the phone number and the email. Now we straight away head to the palmistry video. The first we are going to take a look at the left hand. People say that we shouldn't look at the left hand of a male, but I take a look at both the hands together to come to a final conclusion. Okay, so the first thing that we see, the first impression that we see is generally the hand has less lines over it. Lesser the lines, the better it is considered to be. The first thing is that. The second thing is that in comparison to the headline, this is the headline and this is the heart line appears to be much longer. So whenever the heart line appears to be longer, what it basically means is that the person is very emotional, very sensitive, very idealistic, and a heart line that ends on the mount of Jupiter means that they are idealistic and sensitive and they do not value money. See, the thing is that whenever we would say this to any person, the person is going to deny. They say that I'm not speaking correctly. But the thing is that this is what his basic nature was. See, we move away from our basic nature, from what we were to what we are now, because society demands certain things in our life. So society is constantly changing our personality, constantly changing our personality. So this thing remains with this particular person because the person where their opportunity to make money also arises, the person might not make money. So this is the basic thing. The person would say that I want more money, but when the opportunity arises, he just might lose that particular opportunity. This is according to the left hand. It might change in the right hand, but this is what it is. The other part of the heart line, if we zoom in into this, is that this is the heart line. It's kind of ending. Then another line is starting, heart line is starting, that too is ending. And again another heart line is starting and that's going somewhere out here and ending, and it has got few branches over it again. So it has got constantly branches over it. So what these branches over the heart line basically means is getting distracted. So it is advised that such a person should not get distracted and the person should not fall for any temptations. This abruptness in ending of the heart line means abruptly the person might be ending his relationship. It could be the personal relationship or the business relationship. See, in business, it's a continuous kind of a relationship that we have to commit ourselves into, be even in good times as well as hard times. And what also happens is that the break in the heart line means that suddenly the person is going to end something and start off into something else. So my advice with you for this person would be that he should remain committed to one field of work, whatever it might be. So the branches over the heart line also means getting distracted. Somebody else comes to this particular person and tells him that, okay, we would start to do something else and that's going to become very good and we are going to make good amount of money, but that's not going to happen. So I would say commitment is required. A simple heart line would have meant committed, totally committed and focused. So focus is a thing where there is a problem. The first thing is that. The second thing is that as such on the mount of Mercury, there appears to be no line at all. No line at all. So although it is said that having a perpendicular line is considered to be good, but even if there is no line at all, because if we zoom in, even minor lines cannot be seen out here. Minor lines like these kind of lines cannot be seen on the mount of Mercury. So that's basically a good sign, because having less lines over any mount means that the working of that particular mount becomes better. So mount of Mercury is for business, it is for technical skills, it is your communication, your business, statistical, engineering, medical, any kind of skill is seen under the mount of Mercury. So his learning graph could be fast, because if when there are no interruptions, because many people have they have got confusing kind of lines over it. that would mean overworking of the mind. But out here, the person can rest his mind and he lets other ideas come into his mind. So this is a positive aspect of his palm. As far as the sunline goes, sunline is not so not so, it's not seen during this particular period, but beyond the heartline. This is after this portion is after the age of 53. This is when another lines, a small line basically develops, and there are few breaks in the line as well. But if we take a look at the right hand, we'll just go through the right hand for a brief moment. This is the right hand. You'd find that on the right hand, the line of sun becomes very distinct and clear. This is considered to be an extremely good sign. This is above the heart, and this is the heart line. So above the heart line, when the sun line is good, that's when the things become extremely good. And let me show the sun line out here. This is the sun line that the person is having. And I'm also going to mention the age on this sun line. So this is basically the headline. Anything below the headline, this portion is before the age of 35. From headline to the heart line, this portion from here till here is 35 to 53. This is 35 and this is 53. So this is how we are making calculations, and this portion is beyond the age of 53. So you yourself can notice that the line of sun is very dim out here. Out here also it's very dim kind of sun line. So a very thin kind of a sun line basically signifies that the person is not energizing their work. The amount of energy they should be giving to their work, they are not able to give. And light lines, thin lines basically means that there might be some doubts. In Hindi we say sanshays. It is said doubts destroy everything. So in simple words, what it basically signifies is that when the lines are light, where the lines are extremely thin, it basically signifies that the person is it's kind of deep clouds that have come into the room of this particular person, and the person wants to go out of the room. The person is unable to go out of the room because the person just can't find the way out of the room because of the clouds. So thin line means that the whole sky is full of clouds. It means that the sun is not able to shine, and because it is not able to shine, and the earth cannot receive that sun energy, so the plants are not going to grow as faster as they can if they had appropriate kind of sunlight. So whenever we find that there are no clouds in the sky, no clouds in the sky is signified by a deep and clear line. It means that the path is totally clear, that on the road there's no car at all, and you are the only one in the car. So the speed that which the person would be able to travel is going to be extremely good. So a prominent line of sun basically signifies that the person is likely to highly energize his work. And it is said that this line is some people call it the line of luck. Some people say this is basically the line of name and fame. I have just devised a different thing that I have just explained to you. So it is more to do with how much the energies the person is going to give. So automatically, if you are giving huge amount of energies to your work, you are likely to be more successful. So it's totally correlated. So a beautiful sunline would mean success is going to come to this particular person. But one more thing, in my practical experience, I've seen when the heartline is when above the heartline the sunline is good, and this portion we are calculating from the age of 53. So book is saying it's 53, but in my practical experience I've seen that it's not only after the age of 53 things are going to become good. It should also be good during this particular period. So it's not like suddenly everything basically becomes extremely good in a person's life. It is a combination of every a part of your life that brings success. It's not like that suddenly everything, all the doors basically are opened for you. Because the person is doing something, that's the reason why in future also things are going to become better for him. So you can call this the line of luck, you can call this the line of name and fame, but I call it the line of how much energy the person gives. And energizing, if you energize your work, the chances for success increases. In the right hand, you would notice that the branches that we see on the left hand are not so prominently seen on the right hand. So the left hand is showing more of stress and anxiety and flirtatiousness, but out here the person has become quite focused compared to the left hand, and it's a reasonably good heartline that we see out here. So it marks success. And but in this case too, it appears that the heartline is kind of reaching, and it's kind of reaching the amount of Jupiter. So I would say try to value money, because Jupiter doesn't value money. Jupiter is more for idealism and sensitivity, and the person would be highly idealistic. So wherever the person might get the opportunity to make money, the person is losing that opportunity. So my suggestion would be, try to value yourself and do not monetize everything basically you do for others, because everything is valuable. So this is what it is. People who value money, they have their heartline purely ending somewhere close to the mount of Saturn. This is the mount of Saturn. Those people are extremely good businessmen. They value money. They are good money managers. So that's what basically Saturn gives. Saturn is more about money, possessions, wealth, wisdom, and all these kind of things, and being grounded, knowing the ground situations. But out here the person see, the person is not grounded. The person is more towards idealism. The person wants should have everything in life. That's not possible. That's not realistic. So this is what the hand shows. Now a little bit rare kind of a sign is seen between the Jupiter, the finger of administration, religion and politics, and Saturn, that is, I've already told you, money, possessions, wealth, wisdom and depression, all these kind of things. And this is the area of faith, and this is the area of possessions and wisdom and depression, all these kind of things. So there is a loop-like formation. See, a loop-like formation is normally seen between this finger and this finger. This is a common kind of a loop that is seen. I'm talking about the skin pattern out here. So a loop between the Jupiter and the Saturn finger signifies, in basically one of the books, it says that this is called the Raja loop. Raja loop is basically in books it says that your ancestors could have been leading a rich life and a very, very famous person. All these kind of things is said regarding this loop out here. But I have got a different take. I say that if you have a loop like formation out here between the first and the second finger, it is combining the Jupiter and the Saturn qualities. So who would be a Raja? Raja, a king, a good king would be good in administration side. This is administration, religion and politics, and the person should be good money manager, because if money management is not there in his kingdom, the person is not going to be the person wouldn't have resources, and because the person wouldn't have resources, the person basically wouldn't be able to rule in an effective way, and the person wouldn't be able to do welfare measures for this thing. So in his case, it is something to do with these two qualities that I've just told you, the Jupiter and the Saturn quality. So this is some little bit rare kind of a sign, and it's considered to be a good sign. Now we come to another aspect, that is on the lifeline. These backward lines can be seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these all are pointing towards Jupiter. Jupiter would take a person to a high position. The person says the person is in trouble, all these kind of things. So I have to agree to what the person is saying, and but still I'm telling what the good points are there, and these good points, the person should have experienced these. So these are considered to be good lines, and if they point towards the Saturn mount, it is more to do with money. But if they point towards the Jupiter mount, it is more to do with respect and honor and or position, all these kind of things. So it's kind of more lines are pointing towards Jupiter, and few lines are pointing towards the Saturn as well. Now we come to the money line. So what the money line in the initial period says is that this is the money line, that is a very initial period, and it kind of ends out here. So in the earlier period itself, somewhere close to 24-25 itself, there could have been trouble because the money line has ended. Money line ending has 2 or 3 reasons. The first meaning could be that there could be major losses, or loss of job or loss of business. It could be one of these. Now the money line again starts, and that too kind of ends before it touches the headline. This is the headline. So this age is approximately when it ends. It ends somewhere close to 34, 35. And another one basically develops somewhere at the age of 34, and that too basically ends somewhere on the headline. So this is a break. This is a major break that might have happened. Now the break on the money line out here could have 2 or 3 meanings. The first meaning could be that job loss or financial loss or business loss, whatever it could be. The first thing could be this. The other thing could be the main earning member of the family, his health or wealth could get affected, so more dependency come upon this particular, he has to become more responsible during that particular time. The third thing could be the person's personal life can also get disturbed due to a break in the money line. So any one of these could have applied to this particular person. There's a kind of a problem line. This is the area of Mars negative. This is Mars negative. So this is a good area as well as a troublemaking area as well. So when a horizontal line comes and touches the line out here, it is touching the headline and the money line. So both these things are getting disturbed. So mental as well as financial issues could have come up during that particular year 34-35. Now how we calculate the other point of the money line is that this is the headline and this is the line of a heart. So how we calculate the age on the money line, the fade line, this I've already told you. The money line is ending out here. A new one develops somewhere out here, this particular age, and that too basically it kind of ends. If we zoom in, we would be able to see. And another one starts out at this particular time, and that too kind of ends on the line of heart. So what is happening? There's a big gap out here where things are kind of empty out here. So no line does not mean total bad aspects. Sometimes when there's no line, even that aspect, that particular period could be good. This is one way of looking at it. The other way is that another line that is starting out here and ending out here. So if this age is 35, this is 53. So somewhere in the middle is age 44. So somewhere at the age of 42 approximately a new line develops, and that too ends somewhere close to 48. And then a new line develops. This is a stronger line. This line that we see is a much stronger line. Apart from this money line, the fate line, the Saturn line, you would also notice that a prominent line of sun can also be seen out here comparatively. So this too can be seen. So this is one aspect of the money and the line of sun. One more thing I need to add out here regarding the sunlight. This is the sunline, and there is a V-like kind of a formation forming. One line is moving towards the Mercury and one line is moving towards the Sun Mount. So this portion of the life could also be good. The person is saying that it's not good, but I would say somewhere at the age of 39-40, things could have been good. So this is one way of looking at it. Other way of looking at it is the person also appears to have a money triangle. This is the money line, this is the Mercury line, and this is basically the headline. Although there is a break out here, it's not completely joined, but yet there is a money triangle. Money triangle is considered to be a good sign up in a person's hand, and that good part of the life, it's not that it's going to come. It might have already come in his life, because this point where the money line develops, this is considered to be a good portion of life. So this portion could be somewhere at the age of 25-7 or so. So money triangle is formed with the Mercury line, the Mercury, the money, and the headline. The headline is the thought process line, the Mercury line is the skill line, and the money line in itself is the money line. There are not too many lines in between the triangles, so this is considered to be a beautiful sign. As such, we don't see any Mercury line out here, but very weak kind. But yeah, we would ignore this and concentrate on this particular line itself. So it is a fairly good sign that we see. And uh, so I will just end this video out here, and then I would be talking to this particular person and completing my reading. So uh, before I end this particular video, I have a few things to say. That is, importance of money line is just 15% on our hand. So we can come to know about money from almost all aspects of our hand. It could be our heart line, head, life, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line on your palm. It's not only the money line which tells about money. Money line can be seen on almost all aspects. Importance of money line is very limited. So even if a person doesn't have a money line, it doesn't mean anything. Uh, a saint once said, "You do not need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. And the last thing is uh, being in the right company. If we are in the right company, whatever things that are shown in our hand gets multiplied. They become much better. But if we are in the wrong company, even if we have a very good hand, everything is going to go downhill and bad. So company matters the most. Thanks for watching. Bye and take care. Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.